Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. I am the owner of NoDQ, Aaron Rift. Hope you're all having a good Thanksgiving weekend. I hope you guys didn't spend too much money. Quite frankly, I think Black Friday is a little bit overrated. I think they're just trying to get you in the door, but enough with that. We're here to talk about wrestling, so let's get right down to your questions. Do you think in 2012 Wade Barrett will become world champion? Based on the way things are going right now with Wade Barrett, I definitely see it as a possibility. Barrett had a great 2010 and then not so good in the first half of 2011. And then starting around SummerSlam, Barrett started getting pushed again, and he picked up the big win at Survivor Series. Him and Cody Rhodes were the sole survivors. Little surprised by that. I thought Orton was going to overcome the odds and win it, but instead Barrett got the win. And yeah, I mean, big things are looking ahead for Wade Barrett, it seems. It's just a matter of will WWE keep going with it or will they give up on him again. But I like the fact that they're slowly building him up. I think it's better than just throwing him out there and saying, okay, this guy's the next big star. I'd rather him have a gradual rise and start, something we don't really notice it. It's something that happens. I think that's the way to go with Wade Barrett, and I don't think he'll be champion like around WrestleMania, but possibly a year from now, towards the end of 2012, I think we could see him as a top guy on SmackDown and maybe even back on Raw. We'll just have to wait and see. What was your favorite part of Edge's career as a main eventer? His heel run from late 509 or his face run in 2010-11? Definitely the early part of the Rated R Superstar gimmick, 2006, when he was with Lita. That was, to me, the best period for Edge. And he was just an awesome heel, really cocky, the Rated R Superstar. I got this hot chick with me, and I'm the best wrestler in the world. And just that was Edge at his best. And Lita brought out a lot in Edge. They had really good chemistry, and she was a good companion for him, and their duo was very memorable. The live sex celebration and just her being there at ringside helping him out in his matches. To me, that was the best of Edge. When he got with Vicky, I mean, that was good too, because it was clear in the storyline that he was just with her because of the power, and the typical heel just doesn't care for the woman at all, but he just wants to be with her so he can get his title shots and be the champion and all that. So, I mean, I like that period too, around late 2007, early 2008 with Edge, definitely. What did you think about the Daniel Puder beatdown he got at the Royal Rumble a few years back? And did he do something backstage to upset the roster? I just think it was a situation where people felt he didn't really pay his dues. He won the $1 Million Tough Enough, but WWE wasn't really crazy about paying him all that money, and they let him go after his year contract was up. And I just think WWE booked that scenario where he was in the ring and getting chopped to everybody just to see how tough he was. And I mean, he did take a hell of a beating, from Benoit and all those guys. But in the long run, they just didn't really do anything with him. And yeah, I mean, just I don't know if he could have amounted to anything. He was a good athlete, a good fighter, but other than that, he didn't really bring much to the table in terms of being an entertainer or being good on the microphone or any of that stuff. So who knows? What would you consider Cena's best match? I think his best one was with Michaels at WrestleMania 23, RVD in 06, and CM Punk Money in the Bank are among the best. Your thoughts? Definitely CM Punk Money in the Bank. I mean, that was a 5-star match. That was probably, I'm not even sure what else would be considered, but that has to be John Cena's best match. I mean, one could also argue the WrestleMania 23 match. I also really liked the Raw match they had, I think, in England. It was like a hour-long match, or close to an hour, between Cena and Michaels. That was really good. But I mean, I think people are going to remember that match with CM Punk, for years to come. And like I've said before, that was about as close to a perfect match as you could ask for. Just the storyline. I mean, and Cena was really good. Say what you will about Cena, but he had a great match with CM Punk, no doubt about it. Interesting question for you. Do you think we will see Eric Bischoff back in WWE? And will he be inducted into the Hall of Fame due to all of his stuff in WCW? I definitely see Eric Bischoff going into the Hall of Fame. There's no question about it. I mean, he was the main reason why WWE had competition, because Ted Turner was there, but it was Eric Bischoff that had the vision, and not just Ted Turner's pocketbook, but Bischoff had all these ideas to bring in guys from all over the world, from Japan and Mexico, and have Nitro go live. That was Bischoff's idea. So, I mean, Bischoff really brought a lot to the table and helped change the wrestling business. And I mean, he stole a lot of ideas, but who doesn't steal ideas? And he was there when WCW went downhill, but he also brought it up. So you have to put Bischoff in there, and also as a performer, because as the Raw GM, he was great, and in WCW when he was the heel authority figure, I mean, and even in TNA, I mean, he's, I complain about him, his role in TNA backstage and all that, but as a performer, he's great, and there's no doubting that or denying it. And the only way I don't see him going in the Hall of Fame is if he continues to affiliate with TNA or with a rival promotion. But I'm guessing eventually he'll move on and he won't be involved with wrestling. And at that point, he'll get into the Hall of Fame, definitely. As far as him coming back, I think as a regular performer, like a authority figure, I think that's unlikely. Taker versus Cena at WrestleMania. Has that ship sailed? I think that if Undertaker continues to wrestle beyond WrestleMania 28, I think it's still a possibility. But I think with each year that goes by and the match has not taken place, I think it's less and less likely. I mean, it's always possible we could see it at WrestleMania 30. But if Cena ever does turn heel, I think that would take away from the match a little bit. I'd rather see the babyface Cena go at it with Undertaker, just because I think it'll be a more interesting dynamic. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's not looking very likely at this point. It should have been done probably a year or two ago, but what can you do? All right, that'll wrap it up for today's No DQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. And we're going to get right back into things this week with more No DQ&A videos, so stay tuned for that.